strangers to the postseason. The Buff and Blue are looking to win and advance. Standing in their way, the second-seeded OIA champions, the Mililani Trojans. Welcome to quarterfinal action in the HHSAA State Girls Volleyball Championship Tournament. From the McKinley Student Council Gymnasium on the campus of McKinley High School. It should be a fun one as number 3 seeded Mililani takes on the Buff and Blue of Punahou. Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Robs, he's Jordan Haley. We know one of the teams already that has advanced, and a couple of moments ago it was Kamehameha Schools Hawaii winning in 3-0 over Roosevelt. So the winner of this one will face off against the Warriors, but this one has the makings of a good one.
Yeah, it does, right? You get the ILH together with the OIA champion in Mililani here in the quarterfinal round. This is quite the heavyweight battle. Mililani maybe as hot as anybody in the state, and Punahou, who couldn't quite get past Kamehameha through the ILH, hoping to maybe get another chance, another crack at the Warriors, but they got to win 2 to get there right to this championship match on Friday night.
All right, time now for the New City Nissan players to keep an eye on, and first for Punahou, Jordan.
Yeah, Lulu Uluave's been doing it for a while here in the Buff and Blue uniform. She's as veteran as anybody in the state, a calming presence out there. Her offense oftentimes gets a lot of the headlines, but it's her all-around play, and when they need her to carry the load offensively, she is more than capable.
All right, on the other side of the net for Mililani.
They got a couple of really good pin hitters, right, that allows them, I think, to dream big this season, that allowed them to get all the way to the top of the OIA, and why they've got maybe a legitimate shot to make a deep run in this state tournament. And Erica Roberts on that side at 5'11", the senior had 13 kills in the OIA championship match sweep of perennial power Moana Lua. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
All right, the winner advances a step closer to their dream, a state championship. We'll have it for you next. It's Mililani and Punahou. Time now to take a look at the Zippy starting lineup. First for the Buff and Blue, Marumoto, Patiola, Uluave on the outside, along with Cox. The two middles are Brown and Khaleesi. You got Benny running the offense and Tevis the libero. And for Mililani, their starting lineup, Roberts, Worsley, and Rodriguez, the three outsides. Taylor in the middle, along with Ka'opuike Kaikaina. And the setter is Asuncion, and Valdez, the libero. As we're about ready to begin action with the Buff and Blue back to serve. And we are underway in the quarterfinals, and Roberts gets the first set and puts that down with authority.
Right on cue, right? Erica Roberts. She'll see a lot of action here tonight. And when Mililani is running their operation clean, she and when Alexis Rodriguez are in that front row, as terminal as anybody around.
Benny will set the left side, and Marumoto, I believe that is, puts that one down.
We're gonna see a lot of really good pin hitters tonight.
We go over on the left side, and it is Haumea Marumoto, leads the team in kills. Asuncion back over to Roberts, and she goes cross court, knocks that one down. A little bit of a different energy level than we saw in that first match today.
Yeah, we're gonna see some good rallies here tonight. These two teams are too good for it to not be that case, but we're gonna see a lot of this. We're going to see a lot of terminal swings, much different than we saw in that first match, right? Roosevelt and Kamehameha, Hawaii. Almost every point was a lengthy rally in that one.
And we said the left side again off the double block, picked up by Valdez. They go over to Roberts again, diving dig by Tevis the libero. Pushed over, one-arm dig. Save. Free ball for the Buff and Blue. Where will Benny go? Left side again, and that one smashed off the block by Marumoto.
Reese Teves has really grown into that libero role this season. Just flying all over the place. At 17 digs in the first round match over Kohuku, and then Marumoto. Again, right, that arm, heavy swing.
Nice serve by Benny. They go back to Roberts again, off the block and down. So it's kind of been the Roberts show, Erica Roberts. 4 swings, 3 kills.
Yeah, it's 3-2, right? 3 kills for Erica Roberts and 2 kills on the other side for Ameo Marumoto.
There you see Randy Rubin all up on the ladder, and Lachelle Molina will be our lower referee for this one. Winner will play Kamehameha Schools Hawaii. And set on the right side is down for Marumoto.
Yeah, make it 3-3 now. 3 for Marumoto, 3 for Roberts.
Marumoto's brother Makua, former men's volleyball player for UH, is now at Concordia Irvine. So Moriwaki comes in to serve. Gets to serve over. They go back to Roberts off the block, dug up back row. Benny high, left side. Nice save by the Trojans. And that one is powered down to the floor for a kill.
Now the baton gets passed, right? Uluave in the front row for Punahou and Rodriguez in the front row for Mililani. Each get a swing on that series. Rodriguez able to put it down.
Rodriguez, 5'10" senior. Then he goes out by the 3-meter line, backs to the right side, and that one airmailed way out of bounds. No touch call, and a point for the Trojans. That was off Brown, I believe. Excuse me, Cox. Defense by the Trojans. Dug up Tevis. Nice whack by Uluave, but dug up by Mililani. We continue to play on. Uluave cross court, no touch, point Mililani. And it's 6-3, the OIA champs here in the early going.
Yeah, that dig earlier in the sequence, that's one of your middle blockers back there for Mililani. And Riley Kalpuiki. Kaikaina, who will continue to serve here.
Good deep serve. Benny in the middle, flipped over. Saved by the Trojans. The right side, pulled the string. Benny, access the right side. That one is absolutely clobbered down to the floor. Give that kill to Khaleesi. Excuse me, Cox again. And Uluave that time runs into a brick wall and gets rejected.
Ivy Taylor, the bigger of the 2 middle blockers for Mililani. Listed at 6 feet. She looks even taller than that.
Go on the right side again. Nice dig in the back row. Pumped up near the net, tipped over, but there's Punahou to dig it up. Diving big Valdez. Left side. Another save by the Buff and Blue. We continue to play on. And that time, the hit cross court by Worsley. A little high and a little long. Lila Worsley, 5'8", opposite, junior. As coming in for the Buff and Blue to serve is Callie Jo Shigemasa. Leads the team in aces. So a weapon off the bench for Punahu's squad. Asuncion goes right side, but we'll call it double contact on the setter Asuncion.
Punahou settling in a little bit here, right? It was 6-3, Mililani out of the gate. Since then, the Buff and Blue taking 3 of the next 4. Get that double contact called on the Trojans. Punahou's got a lot of pieces they can throw out there, right? Whether it's Moriwaki coming in the back row, Shige Masa, who can also come in and set.
Lollipop serve mishandled. Kind of basically freed over a chance for the Buff and Blue to tie this one up as it's pushed down the left line, dug up, overpass, and eventually put down with 2 hands by Uluave.
It was interesting, right? The first 10 or so points, it was breakneck. Both teams came out sprinting, firing away, throwing haymakers. Pace is slow just a little bit. Rallies lengthening just a bit. We see a few more mistakes. The overpass there.
Not a great set, but a nice job in reacting to it by Worsley as she pushes it off the block.
She's a big X factor here tonight, right? We know about Stevens. We know about Roberts. We know about Rodriguez on that left side. Worsley on the right side. What kind of match can she have? Can she be a difference maker? Maybe tip the scales ever so slightly in Mililani's favor.
Rodriguez gets to serve over Benny in the middle, unable to get it over the net is Punahou. That was a good effort though by Brown. On the left side. And that one ripped off the block by Uluave. When she goes up and swings, she doesn't get cheated, does she?
No, not at all. And we've got a number of players in this match, right, that can just unload. Here's Uluave. Sometimes a little calculated in her swings, right? She knows this might be a lengthy match. That time she got a clean look, just powered it through the block.
And that one mishit by Roberts. Her first attack error.
And that's the other interesting thing, right? The pace to start. Roberts was dialed in to begin with, but it's going to be a long match, right? Even if we go 3 sets, you get the feeling those sets are going to take a while. And so who can sustain? Who can keep the rhythm? Who can keep the fitness up?
There's an ace. Breakdown in communication in the back row, and Uluave does it. There's your Val Crab.
It's always the question, right, when you go up against these ILH powerhouses.
Up on the left side. Pettis with the big Benny on the left side. There's a tip covered by Mililani. Pump it up to Roberts. Roberts block. Nice cover by Valdez. Out of the back row. The Trojans attack, but it goes long.
And so you saw it right early on. Mililani, when they're right, they can play with anybody in the state. They can beat anybody in the state. But are they able to sustain that, right? You basically know the 8 that they're going to throw out there.
Pushed over. Asuncion, left side, blocked back, and a roof. As they stop Roberts, as Mililani may be a little predictable at times with Roberts in the front row.
Yeah, and on the other side, right for Punahou. And Coach Valcrab not going to wait for the media timeout. She's just going to take one right here at 12-9.
So Mililani takes the timeout. It's 12-9 Punahou here in set number 1. The Spectrum News app is your all-in-one destination for the local news, sports, and weather that matters most to you and your community. You can download it today on your favorite devices. 12-9 Buff and Blue lead here in set number 1. Mililani, the number 3 seed, the OIA champs. Deep serve by the Buff and Blue. And that one hit off the block by Worsley.
Yeah, Worsley already a couple of kills on 5 swings.
Well, you kind of called her what, the X Factor?
Yeah, if you think about it, right? Both teams with 2 really good left-sided hitters.
Marumoto, you talk about left-sided hitters.
Yeah, there's one of them, right? Marumoto and Uluave for Punahou. Roberts and Rodriguez for Mililani. And so, where do the scales get tipped a little bit, right?
Good question.
Who else can step up to help support the heavy lifters so far? And the other thing for Punahou, right? Marumoto, she only plays 3 rotations, so she's going to be a little fresher as the match goes on.
Nice tip right there. Diving save, punched in the air, jousted to the net. And that's going to continue to go on. I thought there were 4 touches, but I guess not. Somehow an overpass. In the middle again, and the block. Buff and Blue get the block. Cox with the stuff. Kealohalani, Cox, Khaleesi. There you see her numbers from the sweep of Kahuku on Monday. Denny, high left side, Marumoto off the double block. Assumption to go left side, on the line, saved by the Buff and Blue. Again to Marumoto, and she sees the spot, goes cross court and gets it past the diving Valdez for the kill. What great court vision right there.
Yeah, Marumoto is so steady, right? And with her length, her contact point is so high up there. Not many blocks in the state can really challenge her. She can pick her spots.
On to, not fooling the Buff and Blue. Marumoto flat-footed. Hits that one a tad too far. Taps her chest, says, my bad. So 15-11 Punahou here in the opening set of Kamehameha Schools. Hawaii has already advanced to the semifinals with a 3-set sweep of Roosevelt earlier. Mosley serve gets over. Denny, left side, and another miscue by Marumoto as that one goes too far.
Yeah, those are her first 2 hitting errors of the match. Was clean through her first 11 attempts. She's hitting .231 with the 5 kills.
Well, neither team hitting for a great percentage. 0.34 for the Trojans, 0.69 for the Buff and Blue. And the set in the middle works.
And that's the other area of interest, right? Is going to be in the middle. For Punahou, Khaleesi with the block on her turn through the front row, and then the big kill there.
Well, she's also only a freshman and 5'9", so her future's quite bright. Roberts blocked the back and down.
Yeah, Khaleesi has kind of grown into that role as the season has gone on, and then the other classmen in the front row, right? Kealoha Cox on the right side, just a sophomore. Those 2, as the season went on, kind of solidified those roles and have really provided a boost.
What a diving dig by Tevis to keep it alive. Valdez will bump it high left side of Roberts, took a bit off of it. Denny under it, goes right side, and that one pounded off the block and down for a point.
Yeah, Sunshin's got to be shaking her head, right? Against 90% of teams in the state, that's down. No doubt about it, but Tevis, beautiful read.
Punahou pulling away here in the opening set. We'll take a break, come back and have more from McKinley. And we're back, and there you see Barbara Marumoto, the fan club for Haumea Marumoto, of course. Rooting on. So there you see 18-12 Punahou. Been a good fall for Mililani sports though, right? Capturing the All-A championship in football and in volleyball, but the goal is to win the state championship. They got to go through Punahou first to get close. One hand set, they're going to call a lift on the center, Sunshin.
Yeah, credit the serve there of Vinny. Forced a tight pass in Asuncion. Trying to tightrope along the net.
Left side for Roberts. That one just mishit. Vinny, left side. Marumoto. Over pass. Nope, punched over. Free ball. They go back to Marumoto. They go back to Roberts, who's blocked. Right there was Cox.
Yeah, Khaleesi getting the bulk of that one. She and Cox teaming up on that right side. She's made a big impact so far, the 5'9" freshman.
Especially that serve mishandled by Valdez. They give it over to Punahou. Benny with the high left side. Marumoto rushes the coconut. And the Buff and Blue are running away with this one in set number 1.
Last couple of swings for Marumoto, a little more subdued. Didn't get a clean run up this time. Runway, all hers. She's able to just punish that thing.
And they brought in Maila Stevens in the back row, kind of shore up the passing. That's being Mililani. They go right to her. Mishandled. They're going to get a double contact. So, double contact on Mililani, and Punahou now finds themselves up by more than a handful. Val Crab not happy right now with the way her OIA champion team is reacting. Rella Binney, the setter, the serve just clears the tape. Diving save, but nobody can get to it. As Stevens came up, popped it up, but it kind of went to the left of the setter, Asuncion. And it's 23-12, Buff and Blue, set number 1.
Yeah, Binney's on her way to play Division I volleyball. It's service pressure just keeping Mililani out of sorts right now.
In the middle, kind of paint brushed over. Binney, right side, cross court. Money. Cox with the kill. Kind of split the defenders a bit. Got it down in the back row. Set point, Buff and Blue. That pats around, hits the hardwood, and the Trojans are still alive.
Number 4, set the circle, Erica Roberts.
And Mililani just trying to look to steal a little momentum before the second set.
That one is crushed. Their set point as Punahou makes it look easy after a back and forth early portion of this first set. 25-13 Buff and Blue in set number 1. We'll take a break, come back and have the beginning of set number 2 for you. Well, Haumea Marumoto left her mark in that opening stanza, putting down 6 kills on 16 swings, hitting 250 to lead the Buff and Blue.
Yeah, this is what we've seen from her, right? Kind of burst onto the scene as a sophomore in 2021, helping Punahou on that run to the state championship match.
All right, time now for the Jack in the Box set 1 stats. And there you see neither team hit for a great percentage, but Buff and Blue, at least at 179, Mililani flatlining it.
Yeah, 2 service aces for Punahou in that set. No service errors. They applied some pressure, right? They were able to keep Mililani off balance really throughout the second half of that opening stanza. And you kind of just got the feeling that the Buff and Blue wore Mililani down as that set unfolded. It was a hot start for the Trojans. They just couldn't sustain, and that's going to be the big key here. Maybe not necessarily looking for the same type of fiery start that we saw, but being able to keep pace a little longer into the set, keep the pressure on Punahou, see if you can't win the match, right? Once you get later into the set, win it in the 20s.
Well, it's just a fun week if you're a volleyball fan, and we have more semifinal doubleheader action in Division I girls volleyball beginning tomorrow at 4:45 on Spectrum OC16. There you see a big crowd across the way here at the McKinley Student Council Gymnasium. If I'm not mistaken, McKinley is the oldest high school in Hawaii, right? Or no, is it? On Oahu.
Could be.
On Oahu, I believe it is.
It's not older than Lahainaluna.
No, I was going to say Lahainaluna in the 1800s, right? But
maybe the oldest public school on Oahu.
So the teams switch sides. Mililani will be going from our right and your right to left on your television screen. Trying to even things up. There's all Punahou in that opening stanza, 25-13. Back to serve, Alexis Rodriguez. And set number 2 is underway. As it's freed over for the Trojans. They go on the left side. Roberts dug up. Over to Marumoto, and she's roofed. So both teams went to their big guns, and the Trojans get the block. Give credit to Worsley.
Yeah, we'll get a great look at it here. Marumoto trying to turn it down the line. Worsley turning it right back.
Jordan's X factor here this evening. Little perspiration being wiped off the floor in this very warm environment. It's always hot in this gym, right?
Always nice and cozy.
Nice and cozy. At least you brought something to sit on. You were smarter than I was.
You learn over the years,
yes,
Scott.
Yes.
I forgot my fan at home, though. So.
Well, I'm a fan of yours. Here comes Mililani. Back set the right side off the double block. Nice save. They go high on the left side for Marumoto. Valdez digs it up. Pushed into the back row, and it lands inside the sideline by Roberts. Smart play.
That it was, just kind of snuck it in there down the line.
Joust won by Mililani.
Similar start, right, for Mililani to this second set. They got out to a quick early lead against Punahou in the first frame, led at 6-3. An early substitution. Punahou bringing Shigemasa in to help with the serve receive.
Another good serve by Rodriguez. Just goes though a tad long. So one serving 3 is drifting back. Will be Brown to serve for the Buff and Blue. Up 1-0. Winner will play KS Hawaii. Defeated Roosevelt in 3. There's an overpass taking advantage of the Buff and Blue. As that one is knocked down with authority by Khaleesi.
She's got 3 kills, a couple of blocks. The 9th grader bursting onto the scene.
9th grade. Her future is very, very bright. Her future's now. Assumption can't go over and get the mishandle of the serve receive. Ace. So an ace for Brown, and Punahou has knotted it up at 3 here in the early goings of set number 2. Assumption, left side, down the line, wide, and missing that one. Here's Roberts. Good look at Val Crab. And we get a rotation violation called on Mililani, and so give a point to Punahou. Mililani capturing the OIA championship first since 2019, 5th overall. Got them a 3 seed here in the state tournament. Attacking out of the back row, Uluave. Dug up the high to the right side. go on the left side, and Marumoto smacks it off the block attempt. He's beginning to heat up again. 7th kill for Marumoto.
6th straight point for the Buff and Blue. Saw Uluwave out of the middle. Out of the back row. Blocked a little late, getting back over to Marumoto there.
And the serve, Jordan's really giving trouble to Mililani. Not a great set there, but somehow making it work was Marumoto. The only place she had was to tip it. Tipped it in the right spot.
Yeah, we've seen that from her as she has developed her game. As her game has matured over the last several years, right? So much power to start off with. Now she, really for a while now, this isn't anything brand new, but she's really just in total command out there. Has the full array, in control, knows when to let it loose, knows when to try to tool off the block.
Now we're gonna get a timeout called on the floor by Mililani. We'll take it as well. Punahou leads 7-3 here in set number 2. Well, it's not just the Division I tournament that's going on. The D2 tournament is going on as well. And there you see Damien is awaiting the winner of Seabury Hall in University, Hawaii Baptist, waiting for Hawaii Mid-Pac and Maui Prep. I believe Mid-Pac has won. And so the semifinals tomorrow, we'll have it for you on XCast from Kalani High School. Should be a lot of fun. Gets underway at 5 o'clock. Semifinal doubleheader action. D2 Girls Volleyball Championship on XCast. Here's the quarterfinals in Division I Girls Volleyball. Punahou won the opening set 25-13 and lead 7-3 here in the second. Buff and Blue serving from left to right. And after the break, we're back underway as that one's tipped over. They'll set it high on the left side for Marumoto. Valdez digs it up on 2 pushed overs, but not fooling the Buff and Blue. They go back to Marumoto down the line, but she goes wide and out of bounds. Point for the Trojans.
I just turned it a little too much there. So Mililani a little chance to catch their breath here after 7 straight points for Punahou.
Good serve by Valdez. Back out on the back row. Uluwave. No problem.
Yeah, right now Punahou offensively, everything clicking.
She hits the ball hard, harder, and even harder. I don't think there's anything else for that young lady, and she does a terrific job of doing it. We'll see if Mililani can answer back right here. Dug up by Uluwave. They go left side for Marumoto. Look out.
You see that length again, right? She is just up above everybody, going over the top.
On the right side, Uluwave, Benny in the middle, smack down into the back row. Khaleesi.
It's Marumoto on that left side. It's Khaleesi in the middle. It's Cox getting involved on that right side. Uluwave out of the back row. Again, they're coming from every which angle.
That time answering back. The Trojans, they go in the middle and make it work.
Yeah, that'll get Coach Val Crabb up and applauding.
Takaya with the kill.
We've seen some shuffling around, right, for this Mililani squad. We saw Cadence Wilson a little bit in the front row.
Set a little close to the net, no chance to do anything with that. Bad set by Benny. And Mililani cuts into the deficit a little bit more as Stevens goes back to serve. Pokied over by Marumoto. Now back to Mililani. Evis will bump it left side. Marumoto. No touch, out of bounds. Another hitting error for Punahou. And here come the Trojans. Buff and Blue hitting 170 at this point. Mililani 0-20. Lollipop serve. In the middle. Rocketed down. Nice hit by Khaleesi. You sure she's a freshman, Jordan?
That's the roster says.
They're going to take Marumoto out. As you mentioned, only plays the front row. And so Moriwaki will come in. Kehealani Moriwaki, she'll serve.
Yeah, Moriwaki, good athlete.
Dug up. Left side. And we got the back judge over there waving the flag. And so they're going to say, I think it went wide of the antenna, one of the attacks. He was waving his flag back there for a while. And Randy Rubin all up on the pedestal, sit out. So point for Punahou.
Yeah, so we see a little bit of that adjustment as well, right? Mililani going to the 6-2. Whaley Stevens, the Hanalani transfer setting, allowing Asuncion to hit in the front row.
Well, that one, an attack error.
Yeah, Wilson on that right side.
That one ripped. Nice set. Left side, miss hit. Out of bounce by Asuncion.
So the Trojans just trying to pull some different strings, right?
Yeah.
Trying to find something, any combination that might allow them to go on a little run, work their way back into this thing.
Maybe that will help the service error. But yeah, kind of a modified 6-2, right? You have Asuncion attacking. The Stevens setting. Right side, the double block. Tipped over with left hand. What about that one-arm dig? And then the kill. And you got to give a lot of credit to McKenna Mello in the back row with a one-handed dig to keep that one going.
Yeah, this was Benny here, the setter.
Oh, excuse me, Benny, yes.
The dig, put it up on a platter for Uluave. Just like they drew it up. Everything seemingly kind of coming up roses right now for Punahou. Benny with 19 assists.
Hani Tafisi checks in. Keep it alive and just absolutely smashing it off the block is Uluave. Mililani's trying to find a combination that works, but Punahou's not allowing it. As you see what Uluave did on Monday against Kahuku, 17 kills, hit 381. He's got 5 kills here tonight, hitting 200s that serve into the net. Buff and Blue won the opener 25-13.
Yeah, Punahou has a team hit 230 in that first round win against the Red Raiders, hit 207 here tonight. But it's been the balance that has, I think, been the most impressive part for the Buff and Blue so far.
With the serve, and then that one went off a few Trojans before landing on the floor. Hit Brown, excuse me. Yes, Brown the kill. Trojans, high set, left side, and that one smacked by Rodriguez. We haven't called her name a whole lot here this evening.
Yeah, it's been a while, right? That's her 15th swing of the night. I almost thought she had fewer than that because it had been seemingly a while before she had gotten a really good look at things. Just her second kill.
Upset, Punahou blocked back, covered up near the net. Joust pushed over, saved by the Trojans. They'll bump it over on the right side. Set, Punahou. Rodriguez dug up. Vinny, left side, Punahou. Can't stop that power.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do when she gets a clean look. Give credit to these back row specialists for Punahou. Shige Masamoriwaki done a really nice job.
Taking advantage of the overpasses, Marumoto. And Punahou, kind of similar to the first set. It was back and forth in the early goings, and then they separated, and they find themselves up by 9 now. As we get some more substitutions coming back in for Mililani will be McKenna Mello. Excuse me, Erica Roberts. Looking at the wrong team. Backside, right side, the step out rejected. That cross-court shot is good. Marumoto's just having a terrific night. And a timeout on the floor. Punahou has doubled up the score, 20-10 here in set number 2. Mike's Engraving and Trophies is the official trophy provider of Spectrum OC16 Sports. And for all your special achievements, it's Mike's Engraving and Trophies located behind Cutter Ford in Aiea. 2010, Punahou up here in set number 2 against Hawaii champion Mililani. Buff and Blue won the opening stanza 25-13. Uluave back to serve, a bit short off the tape, and a service error, point for the Trojans. How does Mililani get back in this one?
Yeah, it's going to start with passing in a lot of ways, right? They're going to have to find a way. They got to serve well. They got to serve aggressively. For the Trojans, no aces, just one service error, though.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to start taking chances behind that service line. On to Binney.
Yeah, I agree with you, Scott, right? They're going to have to dial up the pressure. They're going to have to roll the dice a little bit. Try and keep Punahou out of system as much as possible. Try to make Binney scramble back there, because right now she is pulling all the right strings, pushing all the right buttons, spreading things out. 7 different Buff and Blue players with a kill tonight.
Nice dig, pushed over, rattled around, and falls. Smart play by Binney. She picks up another kill.
6 of them have multiple kills, including Binney.
Yeah. Well, she's kind of an offensive setter, if you will. Serve coming from Brown again. That one just inside the end line for the ace. And Punahou 2 points away from taking a 2-0 lead against Mililani. Now Crab has tried a number of rotations and players, and it just hasn't worked so far tonight for them. There you see a 5-0 advantage in service aces for the Buff and Blue. Bump set on the left side, and Roberts that time gets the point.
Remember, Roberts had the first 3 points of the match for Mililani.
That's right.
3 pretty thunderous kills. She's had 2 since. She's got 5 now, 5 hitting errors on 20 attacks. Hitting the flat 0. That's the other answer to your question, Scott. They got to find a way to get her going.
Yep. Binney, high, left side, Marumoto, unfair. And it's set point, Buff and Blue.
Yeah, Punahou has figured out how to get Marumoto going. In 259 now, 12 kills. leading everybody, the only participant in tonight's match that's got over 6 kills.
One arm dig, trying to play it off the net. Unable to, the buff and blue, and give Roberts another kill.
She's got a half dozen now. See if she can't find a little momentum. Find a groove a little bit going into that third set.
And a housekeeping being done here at the Student Council Gymnasium at McKinley. There's Tita Ahuna, national champion many years ago. And Dave showed you in the Rainbow Wahine. That one is blocked. Robertson on the stuff there. And Tafisi as well, I believe. Kaikaina is in on that block. Mishandled. Ascension, left side. Roberts dug up Uluave. Benny on the left side. Marumoto. And that will close out set number 2 as the buff and blue take the second by the score of 25-14 after winning the opening set by the score of 25-13. So after 2, it's the buff and blue up 2-0. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the serve to start set number 3 here in the D1 Girls Volleyball Quarterfinals. Well, it's been a terrific night for Punahou's Kathleen Patiola Uluave, who has just been terrific. Hasn't gotten cheated on any of her 19 swings, has put down 6 kills.
You know, Uluave's been doing it for a while now, right? And Lulu comes from such an athletic family with her brothers Simisi and Alama and all their football success, and she's helping lead the way for what has been a Punahou onslaught here.
Yeah, you take a look at the numbers, 17 kills to 5 for the buff and blue, 27. How do you have 27 errors? But they had a lot of errors, I know that. Buff and blue hit for a .353 percentage, only 0.37, though Mililani outblocked Punahou and outdug them. It was all buff and blue as you get a good look at the young lady, Uluave. So 25-13, 25-14, the 2 scores. So don't forget, Friday is when everything culminates up on the North Shore, and our coverage begins at 4:45 p.m. They'll crown a Division II and Division I champion, and you can see it all on OC16. So Punahou up 2-0. Mililani, OIA champions, with their back against the wall. We'll see what happens here in the third set. Teams switch sides. Uluave will go back to serve. And set number 3 is underway. Benny high on the left side. Marumoto blocked back but covered by Tevis. They backs at the right side. Chased down by Valdez. Benny tries to push it over. Waka was waiting. Now the back row, Uluave. Valdez bumped over, free ball from Worsley. Here come the buff and blue. Marumoto just had that feeling that it was going to go to her, and she delivers.
Yeah, and I think what's been disheartening a little bit for Mililani, even these long rallies have gone the way of Punahou, right? We've seen some of the quick hitters for the buff and blue and that firepower, but the lengthy rallies have also gone the way of Punahou, and that's been a little deflating at times for the Trojans.
Backside right side, Worsley off the double block, collected by Tevis. Back over to Marumoto, who took a bit off of it, and they will call a touch at the net on Mililani. The winner of this one will face Kamehameha Schools Hawaii, who swept Roosevelt earlier here on XCast. And it happens to be Punahou and KS Hawaii. There's a block by Punahou. That has the makings of a heck of a semifinal, don't you think?
Oh, without a doubt. I think, you know, whoever it is that survives into the Final Four, it's going to be quite the grueling path forward to the Canada Activity Center in Championship Friday.
Serve a bit short by Uluave. Point for Mililani.
Number 9, set to serve, Alina Valdez.
Trojans have tried to get things to work, and Coach Crabb has tried different combinations, but Punahou's just been so steady all night long, and that's one of the reasons. Good save, freed over with 2 hands. Buff and blue, Binny, high left side, Marumoto, and she's stuck. Gets roofed in on the block. Is Worsley.
Yeah, Kalpuiki right there with her as well. One of the few times they've gotten the better of Marumoto.
There's a kill. Roberts. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Punahou has a block yet tonight, do they? They do not, do they? Okay, well, I'm sorry, they have 5. That one airmailed. Modded up at 3. We'll go back again to Marumoto, who's dug up left side. Roberts! Uluave digs it up somehow in the middle. One-hand dig attempt. Unable to pop it up. And give that kill to Brown.
Hey, you like the idea, right, from Assumption. Roberts a kill, they go right back to her. The only problem, not only was that a terrific dig from Uluai, it was a perfect pass. I mean, right to Binny on the net. That allows them to run that quick middle.
Service error, point Mililani. Well, we kind of seen this in the first 2 sets, Jordan, where it was kind of back and forth up until about 9 or 10, and then that's kind of when the buff and blue would pull away. Mililani wants to push this one to a 4th and then hopefully a 5th set for them. Worsley serve, that one doesn't help, goes into the twine. So back and forth we go here in the early goings of this 3rd set. Buff and blue winning the first 2, 25-13, 25-14. The serve probably was going to go out. Roberts off the double block. Tevis to Marumoto. Overpass, kept alive by the Trojans. Where will Binny go? So they're high. Left side. Marumoto off the cable and then dug up by the Trojans. We continue to play on. And that one, any touch? Yes, they will call a touch at the net. And a point for Punahou.
Yeah, it's just a great effort all the way around. Both sides there. Rodriguez digging up balls in the back row for Mililani. You got your middle blocker, Kalpuiki, with a nice reaction and a save.
And Cox got that kill. On the system again, Mililani, but Roberts, nice dig by Uluave. Freed over, that's going to go way too far. A little too much mustard on that one by Marumoto with her back to the net.
Number 4, Erica Roberts.
Yeah, let out a little chuckle after that one.
What can you do, right? It happens. Erica Roberts to serve. Nice line drive serve. Binny near the 3-meter line goes on the left side. On the left side for Mililani. And that one is smoked down. Nice job by Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff from Mililani. Valdez, great dig, perfect pass over to Assumption. When they get those clean looks, right, whether it's Roberts or Rodriguez here, they can swing with the best of them.
Good set in the middle, an even better kill by Khaleesi, the freshman. Shows a lot of promise and a lot of power.
the depth of Punahou just shining through tonight. Everybody who's come in has contributed in a huge way.
Moriwaki checks in for Marumoto. She'll go back and serve.
Including Moriwaki, right? Who's got 9 digs.
Everybody knows their role as Rodriguez is turned around, or turned back by the Punahou block.
Khaleesi doing it on offense, doing it at the net as well. Credited with a solo block and 3 block assists.
Went to the middle this time. There's Assumption and the point.
Number 13 set to serve for Mililani.
Yeah, we're going to see Tafisi come in. We saw her a bit in that second set. A few more substitutions. Coach Val Crabb going deeper into the bench last set. We're seeing a little bit more of that here.
7 serving, 8, set number 3. That serve goes long. Always drives the coach nuts when you bring somebody in to serve and end up with a service error.
It's one of the tougher roles to have, right? You're sitting over there, you're waiting your turn, you come in, you're coming in to serve, but you're going to be asked to serve aggressively, right? You're going to be asked to impact the match, and so it's a fine line to walk.
Yeah, and I think Mililani knows they have no chance without trying to serve a little bit tougher than they have, and they're definitely trying. As Assumption had a backpedal, her only play was to kind of tip it over, and it worked.
Assumption, who was first team OIA West, second team All Hawaii a year ago. So athletic up there. We've seen her swing away. She's fun when she goes on too, when she gets an opportunity.
And there you see the big block, Rodriguez, along with Taylor.
Yeah, that's all Rodriguez right there. She was second team All Hawaii as well last year. You can see why.
Well, Rat-a-tat's around. Push back. They go left side set for Rodriguez. That one sounded like it hit the Paraflex, but they play on now. They finally rule it. It hit the floor first. And how about Mililani? They're fighting hard to stay in this one now. Up 10-9.
Yeah, they had those early leads in the first 2 sets, right? Led it 6-3 in the first, led it 3-0. Never really threatened Punahou, though.
Luave blocked, covered. Back set right side. Nice dig. Valdez will set the right side. Worsley. Tevis. Luave cuts it to her right. A bit too far, out of bounds. And the tough serving and the good floor defense for Mililani is frustrating the Buff and Blue a bit.
Yeah, this is the deepest they've been able to play Punahou even, if you will. And doing a little bit better than that. 2 points clear of the Buff and Blue. Here at 11-9.
Assumption to serve. He handed up to Binney. Flipped over in the middle. Valdez dumps it right side. Worsley. He handed over to Luave. Another chance for the Trojans on the left side. Is that one in? No, it goes too long. So Rodriguez with the attack arrow. Checking in now. Kelly Jo Shigimasa checks in. Leads the team in aces. We'll go back to serve. Punahou with 5 service aces on the night. Right side, off the block and down by Rodriguez, who's now starting to get in rhythm offensively for Mililani.
Rodriguez now with 5 kills. She's got the 9 digs as well.
And Luave, when in doubt, go to her.
She just has that calming presence about her, right? She is such a great leader out there. captain of this group. Just always a calming demeanor after every point, right? Always kind of knows when to dial it up a little bit, get her girls fired up.
Right side, Worsley off the wickets in the back row of Shigemasa. And we have a timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. 13-11 Mililani here in the third. Well, the semifinals are set in the Division II of the Girls Volleyball Championship. There you see #1 seed Mid-Pac will take on Hawaii Baptist. Both of those schools 1-3 tonight. And Damien, the 1-3, advances to take on University Lab, who 1-3. There were a lot of sweeps tonight, weren't there? Particularly on the Division II side. And of course, we'll have both those semifinal matches for you right here on XCast tomorrow, beginning at 5 o'clock from Kalani High School. Back to action here. Mililani trying to stay alive, down 2-0 as Marimoto pounds that one off the block. Buff and blue with the ball. Benny goes left side. Marimoto again off the block. Diving one-hand dig in the back row. In the middle. And it's hammered down, and the Trojans are starting to feel it. Roberts with the kill.
Her 8th. This is a great set by Worsley. Rodriguez excellent up, and then Worsley just puts this, shoots it out to the pin, and Roberts takes care of the rest.
Punahou goes in the middle, and they answer back.
Number 12,
Been so impressed with the full roster for Punahou and Benny in particular, right? Every time they've needed a point, you think, oh, she's going to put it out to Marimoto. She'll go middle, she'll go right side, she'll continue to spread it around.
Yeah, Brown with the kill last time. Roberts. Rat-a-tats around, overpass. Go back to Roberts. That time she gets it off the hands and down. And Roberts starting to heat up a bit. That's her 9th kill. Only hitting 088 though.
And now the Trojans starting to win a few more of these lengthier exchanges. Earlier we talked about Punahou seemingly the long rallies all going the Buff and Blues way. Mililani's found a way to stem that tide a little bit, and it's been better passing, it's been more terminal hitting from their big guns.
Marimoto hits it long. Another point for the Trojans.
There's been a few more outswings as well.
Well, Punahou struggled here in this set. I mean, in the last set they hit 350 something.
Yeah, 353 last set. They're hitting 069 with 5 hitting errors and just 7 kills so far here in the third.
069's a bingo number. Marimoto goes cross court, waiting for it was Valdez. They go back to Roberts. Dug up. Marimoto. Dug up again over near the net. Alert play at the middle of the net, pushing it over on the second contact and getting it to fall down. That was a really smart play by Kaupuike Kaikaina.
This looked like disaster. But Kaupuike, what a heady play.
Timeout. We'll be back with more. Back at the McKinley Student Council Gymnasium. Reminder, Saturday is Veterans Day. It's also University of Hawaii pay-per-view football as the Rainbow Warriors will play host to the Falcons of Air Force. Our coverage begins at 5:15. Spectrum pay-per-view. Hawaii coming off a nice win on the road, and Air Force coming off a loss to their rival Army. Here it's Mililani, who's down 2-0. Trying to make a comeback here against the Buff and Blue as they lead 17-12 in the third set. Marimoto blocked back, covered by Tevis. Back to Marimoto. Chased down by Asuncion. Benny, back set, right side. Push to her left and down. Was that Benny that hit the ball?
And it was Shigemasa having a set there as Buff and Blue were scrambling to make it work.
And it did.
Yeah, big point there. Pulls it back within 4, could have easily been 18-12 Mililani. But the Buff and Blue still very much in the rear view.
Now Benny will serve. That went into the net. Well, we've seen the Trojans pick up their serving game. We'll see if that's what Punahou tries to do to get back in this one. That ace helps. Or actually, it'll probably go down as an attack error. Regardless, here comes another serve. Another not great pass. Free ball by Punahou. Left side, Roberts. Roberts pushes the back row. Dug up. Back set. Right side. Overpass. The dig. The chase. The push into the back row. And it works. Davis in the back row didn't look like she was ready for that one. And a smart play by Rodriguez.
Tell you what, Asuncion logged about 5 miles on this point. Chasing balls down, took that swing on 2 on a tight pass up at the net. Somehow ran that thing down off the up from Rodriguez. That's a well-earned point for Mililani right there.
No question. Roberts with a good line drive serve. The set not great for the middle. Rodriguez uses 2 hands again. That time, Davis was ready for it. The block. Maramoto off the hands of Valdez. And it's 18-15 Trojans. Maramoto comes out, coming in. Moriwaki, and she will serve.
It has been much tougher sledding for Maramoto in this set. Credit to that Mililani block.
Well, she's taken 49 swings now. Asuncion around the left side. Rodriguez off the block. But I think this is more of what we expected in terms of competitive sets. Punahou winning the first 2 pretty handily, 25-13 and 14, but it's Mililani with the advantage here in the third.
Yeah, I don't know what their side out percentage is here in the third, but it is much better. It's allowed them to maintain this lead, the separation.
Set in the middle, the tip doesn't work. Another hitting arrow for Punahou.
Yeah, the 6 in this set have definitely helped the cause, no doubt about it.
They're hitting 073 here in this set after hitting 353 in the first, and Mililani hitting 250 after hitting 037 in the second set. Luave misses. Well, when you're down 2-0, you got to win the third to get to the fourth. You got to win the fourth to get to the fifth, but you can't do that unless you win the third. You got to give a lot of credit, Mililani, the way they are answering back here in this third, and a lot of it because of their service game.
Yeah, they've been able to apply some pressure here, right? And they've done a much better job keeping the ball in play. They've done a much better job at the net, getting some hands on these Punahou attackers' swings. And Alexis Rodriguez has kind of come alive, right? They just weren't quite able to get things cleanly to her in the first couple of sets. She's got 7 kills now for the match, the bulk of that coming in this third set. Her back road passing has been a strength, right? And we've seen that throughout her career, doing that again here tonight. The block has been huge. Her emergence has really helped the cause in this third set.
So the Trojans with a 6-point lead here in the third set. Let's take a look at the D1 girls volleyball bracket, and there you see KS Kapalama and KS Hawaii. They're awaiting winners, Baldwin and Kapolei, and of course this one, Mililani and Punahou. So the winner of this one will take on Kamehameha Schools Hawaii, who won in 3 against Roosevelt here on XCast. Keep in mind, Kapalama they've handed Punahou all 4 of their losses this year. They went 14-4 in ILH play.
Of course, Punahou would love to get another crack at Kamehameha Hawaii this year, right? It was the Warriors who knocked the Buff and Blue out in this very round, in this very gym last season in the quarterfinals. Kind of sent shockwaves through the tournament.
Justice DuPont will go back to serve. 5'1" junior. 21 serving 15, down 2 sets to none. Line drives that one just over the net. Benny in the middle, and it works. Well, they get it. Give Khaleesi the kill.
Prior to that last point, we saw Taylor Marie Lindsay, 5'10", opposite come in. She's been on the floor the last couple of points for Punahou.
Well, if you're Mililani, you got to be careful here because Punahou has gone on some pretty good service runs during this match. Bumps it on the left side, pushed over. Uluave digs it. The set on the right side, and that one off the block and down.
They don't use Lindsay a lot. Up with the varsity 1 team this season. Big smiles all across the Buff and Blue bench. How about that? Coming in cold. Been watching for a couple of hours since warm-up.
Well, she also brings that left side attack from the right side, which you love. Set in the middle. Good job by the Trojans and by Taylor.
Yeah, Ivy Taylor, just calm right there, right, for the 9th grader. Big point. Keeps Punahou at bay here.
One set to Uluave. Got Valdez, and then nobody reacts in time.
Yeah, hit off the ceiling, redirected. Ascension unable to react in time. That's a tough play.
That's very tough. Shigimasa. That's an ace. 22-19. Timeout on the floor called by the Trojans. Punahou up 2 sets to none, but the Trojans hold a 3-point advantage here in the 3rd. There you see the numbers, 22-19 Mililani here in the 3rd set. Though Punahou up 2 sets to none. The serve gets over. Assumption waits, right set, and cross court. Getting it down is Rodriguez, and she has really helped out this Trojan team here in this 3rd set. She has picked it up.
8 kills now for Rodriguez, hit 185. Been a huge spark for Mililani.
Benny tries to go on 2, and the Trojans say, Taylor. High set for Uluave. Couldn't get out of the way. It was Roberts. That set point for Mililani.
Now it gets a little interesting, right? 4 set points remaining for Mililani. They got a little breathing room here, but you got Uluave to serve and Marimoto back in the front row.
They go in the middle, it's flipped over, dug up Uluave, Benny, left side, Marimoto, and it's in. Smart move by Valdez, ducking out of the way of that one. They got in front of that back line. The 21 serving 24. They go in the middle, it's rejected. They tried to go to Kaina, and she got rejected, and so now a timeout called. You said they had, what, 4 points to play with? Back-to-back points for the Buff and Blue. And waiting right there to make the block was Brown.
Yeah, it was 24-19, right? They had 5, a little side out for Punahou, but that side out brought Morimoto back in the front row, put Uluwave behind the service line. And so Uluwave is not going to take any chances serving, but they've got 3 excellent passers back there, right? With Shigemasa, Tevez, their libero, and now Uluwave, who's going to go play back row at the Division I level eventually. And then you got Morimoto in the front row. And so the margin for error becomes a little thinner for Mililani, right? You saw it there. You saw the play at the net. Can't try to be too fine, right? They've gotten here because they've played their brand of volleyball. They've executed well. You see Biagora, assistant coach for Mililani, and that staff. 1 point here. 1 point extends the match. You can really start applying some pressure on Punahou. You need this point here. One side out, right? You got two chances, one side out. You can extend this match. And for Punahou, you just want to keep the ball in play, right? Keep the ball in play. Eventually, maybe get it out to Morimoto. Maybe go down to the middle with Binny. Able to set some of those quick looks, but it'd be interesting to see where Mililani wants to go here coming out of the timeout.
Well, the Trojans only hitting 105 for the match, but that doesn't matter right now. There you get a good look at Alexis Rodriguez, who's had a terrific third set. And they come down to her right arm, and now the whistle blows. I don't think, well, there's music playing. I don't think they were ready to let the Buffalo Blues serve. Well, somebody needs to turn down the jams, and there you go. Well, not yet. All right, there you go. So Uluwave to serve. Her job is to get it over the net, and she does. Sanchez chases, bumps it up left side for Roberts. Roberts dug up Uluwave. Binny left side, Morimoto off the double block. Valdez left side, Roberts off the block. And the Trojans fight on as they claim set number 3 by the score of 25-22. And so this one will go to a 4th set with the Buff and Blue leading 2-0. Set number 4 when we come back to the McKinley Student Council Gymnasium. Let's take a look at the set 3 stats as Mililani rallies, takes that third set 25-22, and they outkill the Buff and Blue 15-14. Also, they've cut down on the errors quite a bit, Jordan. Only 4 errors and a 256 hitting percentage for the Trojans in that third set.
Yeah, outstanding response by Coach Belkrab's crew. For them to hit 256 there, Punahou, the 8 errors mounting up a little bit there. Mililani just did a much better job of slowing down the Buff and Blue attack. The block did a better job. They were passing better in the back row. And so the question now for Mililani, right? Can you keep that up? Can you keep the momentum going? Are they going to hit 250 again? Above 250 in this set? Hard to say. But can they eke out a lot more of those long rallies? Can they eke out a few more of those grinding points? And keep the pressure on Punahou, right? Buff and Blue found a little something there late when they were in a favorable rotation, but that's not going to be there every time, right? And so for Punahou, do they start pressing a little bit? Do they kind of fall back to what we saw a little bit earlier? It'd be interesting. They're going to have to work to finish this one off. Or maybe we're going 5. You never know, right?
Maybe.
And so credit to the Trojans in that set. Could have easily packed up the shop and folded, but they didn't get to the top of the OIA for nothing, right? And Alexis Rodriguez, big factor in that second set. Erica Roberts started to find a little something as well mid-portion of that third set. And so they can get those 2 big guns going. Their middles are playing well in Kalpuiki and Taylor. Big confidence booster here for Mililani. They know that they can play with one of the best teams in the state here, proving that they belong in that conversation as well.
Well, the aforementioned Alexis Rodriguez will start set number 4, back to serve for Mililani. And we are underway as Binny goes to Uluwave. Dug up by Valdez. On the left side for Roberts, off the block, and it flies out of bounds.
And Roberts has been such a fun player to follow all season long, right? Breakout star. Was honorable mention Ohio West a year ago, honorable mention all Hawaii as well, but she has just vaulted into another level this season.
Another good serve, chase down. Then he goes left side, Marumoto, and finds the corner. Kind of a half swing by Marumoto, but had enough on it. So one serving, one set, number 4. This could be a real battle here in this 4th set as Brown serves it over. Century, left side, that one pounded off the dig attempt and out of bounds.
These Mililani attackers, they seem to find a second win there in the 3rd set.
Well, we saw Roberts come out super hot at the beginning of the 1st set.
Yeah, they've recaptured a little bit of that magic.
They have. This time Punahou goes in the middle. Off the block, it flies out of bounds beyond the end line. Khaleesi.
Yeah, I tell you who's had the magic touch right from the beginning. It's been Khaleesi.
Freshman is not playing like one for sure.
8 kills, hitting .438.
Yeah, that's a pretty good evening. Something goes in the middle, but the solo block. Standing there and waiting for it was Khaleesi.
She's been big time. You know, it's 4 years ago. Grace Viaseu was a freshman and kind of broke out during the state tournament for Punahou. Had a terrific 4-year career, now playing up at Air Force. Khaleesi not quite as big as a 9th grader physically as Viaseu was, but she's having quite the impact to start off her Buff and Blue career.
Well, it's just going, let's mano y mano, right? Going back to Roberts, who gets the kill. Trading blows here in the 4th set. Benny goes in the middle, it's mistimed and unable to get it over. Trying to set the middle, but the set and the middle attack of Khaleesi not in tune. So an unforced error gives Mililani the point and the 4-3 lead. Buff and Blue up though, 2-1. Another good serve. Then he backs it the right side. The roll shot falls, pulling the string, Marumoto.
I'm so impressed with Marumoto and just her shot selection and when she opts to swing away. No blockers up here. But able to squeeze that down in front of Valdez. Just perfectly placed.
Moriwaki with the serve, the set on the left side. And again, they go to Roberts and she answers the call. Roberts now up to 14 kills on the night. Marumoto has 19 for Punahou. Left side, Uluave. Good try by Valdez, the libero on the back row.
Going blow for blow here to begin this 4th set. And you can see the confidence for Mililani.
And why not?
Going toe to toe.
Yep. Benny backs it the right side, and that one by Cox. Cox attacking from the right side that time, gets another kill. Now we trade advantages, now 6-5, Buff and Blue.
This has been fun, huh?
It really has.
Back and forth with the first 11 points.
Devis, the libero, serves it over. Assumption, the left side, and look out. Oh my. Rodriguez.
I don't see if Punahou wants to adjust a little bit as well. You saw Cox and Coach Ohuna talking it over
Well, I think Asunction's done a pretty good job of keeping Punahou off balance. If she gets a good pass, she's running the middle to the right side. Buff and Blue got to keep them on their toes, and that's what's happening. Here comes the serve by DuPont. The set to Uluave, took a little bit off of it. On the left side, pushed over with two hands, and just a bit too far. Rodriguez had the right idea, just missed.
Yeah, it was a great idea. I mean, just sailed long.
You look at the first two sets, Punahou 25-13, 25-14, but Mililani comes back, wins the third, 25-22, and right now it's nip and tuck.
Yeah, you got to give a ton of credit to the Trojans.
The system is Mililani. They can't get it over. Unforced error.
That confidence we saw Mililani start the match with, right? They refound it in that that third set. They've been able to shake off mistakes. They've been able to play through some of that adversity. And now a critical juncture here, falling behind by a couple of points.
Well, that's going to be an ace. An ace for Shigimasa, who leads the team in that category. And now Punahou with that 3-point lead, and this is starting to kind of look like the first two sets.
Yeah, this is where Mililani's got to find a way to side out, right? Shigimasa, such a tough server.
Back row player bumped up near the net. Benny, high, left side, Uluave, kept alive, freed over. Benny, in the middle, Uluave. It's really difficult when you're scrambling like that on defense to get back in position. And a good setter will know that. And Benny is a good setter and went to Uluave on the left middle, if you will.
Incredible effort by Mililani just to keep that point alive, but spot on, Scott, right? It was tough. Rodriguez trying to just scramble back into the front row. Uluave pretty unobstructed there.
Rodriguez dug up by Tevis. Another powerful swing by Uluave, giving chase. Unable to get to it are a couple of Trojans. And you gotta think Val Crabb thinking about maybe calling a timeout. Her team trailing 11-6 here in the fourth set. She's gonna call somebody off the bench.
They're gonna go double sub here.
Cadence Wilson's gonna come off.
Yeah, actually, they're just gonna put Wilson into the back row. They're gonna take the libero Valdez off.
Good serve and bit of a joust at the net, and Punahou wins that one. Brown goes up, trying to set it with one hand, but couldn't pull it back over. Was Asuncion. Buff and Blue has doubled up the Trojans now here in the fourth, 12 serving 6. And Mililani and all kind of problems, out of sorts. The swing cross court, Katsu Uluave. We'll take a break. On the floor, 13-6 Buff and Blue. They lead 2-1. Well, 3 of 4 teams have punched their tickets to the semifinals tomorrow. As you see, Baldwin beat Kapolei in 4. So KS Kapalama versus Baldwin in one semifinal. KS Hawaii awaits the winner of this one between Punahou and Mililani. Buff and Blue lead 2-1 and are up 13-6 here in the fourth. And we'll have that semifinal doubleheader on OC16 beginning at 4:45. Well, Val Crabb now trying to pull some players off the bench, trying to get some kind of combination to work like it did in the third set. And I think really a big part of it is that the ball control of Mililani has kind of left them to serve receive. They have struggled with the serving of Punahou here in this fourth set.
Yeah, particularly Kalijo Shigemasa.
And we get a whistle, rotation violation called on the Buff and Blue. We don't see Tita Ahuna arguing at all. It's the only coaching staff with two Titas. You have Tita Ahuna and Tita Q, who was a libero for the UH Rainbow Wahine for a while back, a couple of years ago, and of course, Tita Ahuna, a legend. There you see Tita Q. Well, float serve trying to slow down the offense of Punahou. It works. Bumped up on the left side. Uluave hits it wide.
Yeah, Mililani felt like there wasn't a touch on that swing from Punahou. Ends up being a Trojan point anyway.
A lefty Asuncion. Thrown up. Uluave. And she gets it down past the sprinting Valdez. Uluave has just been terrific all night long. She's got 15 kills now, hitting 278. So she and Marumoto have been the big hammers. Marumoto with 19 kills. Backs at the right side. Then he will bump it up. Uluave. I'm going to say there was a touch at the net. Mililani thinks it should have been 4 contacts. Cross-court shot. It doesn't matter now as Rodriguez picks up her team.
From our vantage point, not that we have a great look at it. I thought Taylor probably got a touch on that swing, but again, didn't matter, right?
Yeah. Well, it didn't matter because
don't dwell on it.
Mililani got the point.
Rodriguez taking care of that, taking matters into her own hands.
Absolutely. Saw her taking a deep breath back behind the service line. Trojans down by 5. And that one rides the cable and ricochets back on the Mililani side. So service error, point Buff and Blue. If Punahou hangs on, that will be an interesting semifinal tomorrow night with Kamehameha Schools Hawaii and Punahou locking it up. But the Buff and Blue have got to finish work here. And Mililani, you know, definitely is not going to go down quietly. Getting on the left side, not a great set, and it's blocked. The set was tight to the net, really forcing Marumoto into a no-win situation.
Third set, that Mililani block came out. Really factored in. They can start to slow down some of these Punahou swings.
They go in the middle. That one works. Khaleesi again.
Got 9 kills. 12 total kills out of the 2 middles for Punahou.
I like that back set to the middle, the step out around by Khaleesi.
Hit 471.
Asuncion will go on the left side. Roberts gets a touch in the back row. It's probably past the bedtime of some of these players. I mean, it is 9:30 and they got school tomorrow. At least we don't have to get up and go to school. Oh, I don't have to go to school tomorrow. I don't know about you, Jordan. No more school for you either.
No school.
Unforced error. Worsley back behind the service line, awaits a little housekeeping on the Punahou end of things.
Mililani still very much within striking distance here. Coach Krabs still has both of her timeouts at her disposal. Definitely they've put themselves in position to try and make a run at things here as the 4th set unfolds.
As it goes right down the middle. Daniel bumping up on the right side. Marumoto finds the angle cross court. Great Great shot right there. Seeing the double block, taking away the line. So
yeah,
Moda says, I'll go cross.
Didn't go with the full wind up. Short swing, short approach, just a snap of the wrist.
Moriwaki in to serve, and she's a difficult server to handle, though Jordan's doing a nice job right there. Dug up, overpass, out of bounds, and Roberts with another kill.
Roberts with 16 kills now. Hitting over 200.
Dribble back to serve. Benny on the right side. It's flipped over, Robert patted around and taking a swing and knocking it down. That is Rodriguez.
Why not? Twice off the net here. Once, nope, just up once off the net. A little flick up. Let Rodriguez come in. She'll clean that right up. Mililani back within 3 here.
Yes. Left side, and the muscle of Uluave. Too much to handle for the Mililani block. Back out to a 4-point lead for the Buff and Blue here in set number 4.
And she's just a joy to watch, right? She's such a fluid athlete out there. Back row, front row, and she can just uncork.
How about the block and then the overpass back to Ulufale. Yes. That block came back so quickly, but the Buff and Blue picked it up and they got it outside to Uluave. Check it, look at this again. Well, here in the 4th set, Kathleen Padiola Uluave has been terrific, Jordan. She has kind of taken over here down the stretch.
Whatever you need her to, she'll give you what you need. Whether it's digging in the back row, the serving, plays at the net, hitting-wise, 17 kills, hitting 275, 16 digs to go along with that.
Middle attack off the block, kept alive. Benny left side, Uluave blocked back again, covered by the Buff and Blue. Uluave a 3rd time. Pinballs around, freed over. Left side, Uluave. Does she get it in? She does. She hit it so hard, the line judge had a duck for cover. Self-preservation.
And if you need Uluave to play the role of closer, she can do that too. It was 17-14. Mililani. Since then, 3 straight kills by Uluave.
And then the bocce by Jordan with the service error.
Yeah, Uluave wasn't swinging.
That's true.
No, but if you're Punahou, right, and if you're Tevez, you did your job at the service line, stole back a couple of points. She's been nails all night long for Punahou with 10 digs on the evening. They've created that lead of a handful here, trying to close this thing out.
Nice serve, just cleared the top of the tape. Off the block. Cox. 25-13, 25-14. Punahou the first 2. 25-22 Trojans in the 3rd. Here comes the serve by Shigimasa. Asuncion goes over on the left side. That one hit into the net by Rodriguez. And the Buff and Blue fans across the way can feel it. Mililani trying to hang on to force it to a 5th set. There you see the score, 22-15 Buff and Blue here in set number 4, up 2 sets to 1. So Punahou just 3 points away from advancing to the semifinal to face KS Hawaii. The Warriors defeating Roosevelt earlier this evening here at McKinley in 3. So the buff and blue to serve from left to right. Serve gets over by Shigimasa. No, it doesn't. Goes into the net. You'll take it however you can if you're Mililani. We saw their serve really affect Punahou in that third set. We'll see what they can do right here. Asuncion gets it over. Innie, left side high. Off the block, it carries out of bounds. Another kill for Uluave.
19 kills now for Lulu in this match. Hitting 295.
And she picks up her service ace. Oh, what a great night for that young lady. And it is Aloha ball for the buff and blue. And on an ace, it's apropos for Uluave and the buff and blue as they win set number 4, 25-16, and they take the match 3 sets to 1, 25-13, 25-14, 22-25, and 25-16 in favor of Punahou, who moves on to the semifinals to face the Warriors of KS Hawaii. Meanwhile, Mililani, what a great season. OIA champions, and they get to the quarterfinals here this evening. We'll take a break, and we'll have more from McKinley's Student Council Gymnasium. Well, there you see, Punahou advances to the semifinals of the Division I Girls Volleyball State Tournament. Turning back Mililani 25-13, 14, 22-25, and 25-16, in large part to our Hawaii Honda Dealers Impact Player of the Game, and she was terrific all night long, Kathleen Patiola Uluave. First off, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It felt like every time they went to you, you were hitting the ball as hard as you could.
I mean, I don't want to get hit back at, so I'm going to hit it back as hard as I could.
Talk about what you guys talked about in the locker, or I'm sorry, talk about what you guys did after dropping that third set. What did you guys talk about on the bench?
Honestly, we knew Mililani was a great team, and they're going to come out every set, whether they lose or win, and we just had to fight back. Errors were made, but moving on was our goal.
Yeah, Lulu, congratulations. Great effort again. What's going through your mind kind of late there in the fourth set? Because you took over, it was 17-14. All of a sudden you get 4 kills and like 6 points. What's it like when you're in the zone like that?
I mean, it's probably just, it feels great. It feels like your own domain, and you just block out everything else and you find what you need to do to help your team.
Hey, last question. You guys are going to face Kamehameha Schools Hawaii. What do you know about them, if anything?
We know they took us out last year, and we're hoping to change that.
Well, good luck, and congratulations on tonight's win.
Thank you so much.
All right. Congratulations, Kathleen Patiola Uluave, our Hawaii Honda Dealers Impact Player. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here, Jordan. You mentioned 19 kills, hit 295, and had a couple of aces to end it in the fourth.
She was, from the get-go, just as steady as can be, and she has been, right, the last few years in this Punahou jersey. Heard a little bit as a freshman, really came on as a sophomore, and has been doing it ever since. When they needed her, right, things getting a little dicey there after the third set, getting into the fourth. Mililani kind of hanging around, not once they got Uluave back into that front row and started feeding her. She was terrific in closing this one out.
Well, we had another great player on the other side of the court for Mililani, their impact player, Alexis Rodriguez. Really, the last couple of sets, we called her name quite a bit, and she came away with 11 kills on the night.
Yeah, and I think the bulk of those 11 kills came in the third and fourth sets. She's been really good the last couple of years, and you know they'll get a chance, obviously, in the consolation bracket come tomorrow and possibly Friday as well. But She's been a joy to watch, just all-around game, and what she can bring, especially in attack, right? Just brings so much excitement to the floor, and this Mililani squad, I think, can be really proud about taking that third set off, fighting back after falling down in an 0-2 hole. Punahou just a little bit too much at the end of the day.
All right, time now for always fun Taco Bell play of the match, and we saw a lot of kind of interesting plays. How about this one with Uluave, who else, recognizing kind of open space in the back row, and she gets it on the puka past the diving big attempt of the defender. One of many great plays by that young lady here tonight. So Punahou moves on. I'll give you the final word, final thought when you look at the final four remaining.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, right? You got a couple of neighbor island teams in there along with the two ILH representatives when it comes down to it. You heard Uluave there, right? They're very well aware of how last season ended in the championship bracket, losing to Kamehameha Hawaii. They're jonesing to go. That's going to be a fun one. And then that Kamehameha Kapalama and Baldwin matchup, right? The Bears a little bit of a Cinderella run here to the MIL title and now on into the semifinal run. It's going to be interesting to see whether it's another all-ILH final or maybe one of these neighbor island teams can pull the upset.
Who knows? That's why they play the game. It should be a lot of fun. Hey, this was a good one tonight. Kamehameha Schools Hawaii and Punahou advance to the semifinal. Special thanks as always to our terrific, outstanding Spectrum Sports crew, also for our stat crew that helped us out here tonight. And for my broadcast partner, Jordan, I'm Scott. Bidding aloha and a good evening from McKinley.